Hi, my name is Misty Wagner. This is my business presentation for healthcare management. I am doing my presentation on Wayne Memorial Hospital in Jessup, Georgia. And I'm a senior at Valdosta State. I'm a management major and I hope to graduate in spring of 2018. Please enjoy my video. Now why don't we talk a little bit about Wayne Memorial Hospital. It is located at 865 First Street in Jessup, Georgia. Jessup has a population of about 10,214, and so it's considered a small town. Wayne is actually an acute care hospital that is run by the county, so it's a government-run hospital. Construction was completed in December 2018 on the current facility. They spent $37.3 million on the 158 square feet facility, and it's a beautiful hospital. The catchphrase is kind of what they're known for is big city technology with small hometown care. And they have 88 inpatient beds, 16 outpatient surgical suites, 12 nursing beds, a separate outpatient physical therapy building. Wayne is operated by the Wayne County Hospital Authority. They are 19 employees with an annual revenue of $2.2 million. The committee actually is not paid. They do it out of commitment for healthcare in their city, so that's very good. Wayne Memorial Hospital employs 400 plus people and is the third largest employer in Wayne County. There are approximately 104 RNs and approximately 43 doctors. They were a Georgia Alliance of Community Hospitals Small Hospital of the Year award winner in 2010 and 2015. They are also fully accredited by the Joint Commission on Accreditation of Healthcare Organizations. And their CEO is Joseph P. Iotti. He was the 2015 CEO of the Year, which he won in conjunction with the Small Hospital of the Year through the Georgia Alliance of Community Hospitals. So that was a very cool thing for the community to be picked from the state of Georgia as a small hospital. You are looking at the Wayne Memorial Hospital financials. The gross patient revenue was $167.4 million. Non-patient revenue was $1.6 million. Total revenue comes up to $169 million with a net income of $3.3 million. So you can kind of see that they aren't in the red. They do okay. These are the financials that are most current through the Medicare website. Why did I choose Wayne Memorial Hospital? Well, it starts with, number one, I have personal experience with Wayne. I had my son there, and they were an excellent facility to have a baby. And my doctor is a surgeon, is an OBGYN through there, and she's wonderful, and whoever she was affiliated with is where I went. And so my first experience with Wayne was having a baby there, and they were amazing. Every department, from the OB department to the anesthesiologists to the nursing staff, the check-in, check-out staff, everybody was amazing. And they listened, they were respectful, they did their job very well. And so they left a good impression on me personally, and I look forward to going back there whenever I needed a hospital. I also had laparoscopic surgery there last fall, and once again everything was wonderful. Everybody was very professional. It was a outpatient surgery, so I was in and out that day, and they did follow-ups with me and were just wonderful. So I would definitely recommend the hospital not only to my friends but as a potential employer. I do find interest in going there. There's also limited options in my area. The closest hospital to me is about 10 minutes closer than Wayne. So I do drive a little bit out of my way to go there, and that's for a reason. The overall vibe there at Wayne Memorial is just, it's like you're in a small town, and small town people are generally supposed to be very friendly and make you feel very welcome, and you do feel very welcome at Wayne from the moment you enter the door. It's just a very nice place. What do I like about this organization? Well, besides what I just told you, it is up to date. You know, the building was built in 2007, so the building itself is very modern looking. Their landscaping is great. All the patient rooms feel new. They feel comfortable and up to date, and you feel like you're really being taken care of there. They really do live up to that big city technology with the small town feel, which is what they are going for. They also have online record access, which I love. Accessibility online. It's probably just part of my generation that really enjoys that and respects that. Companies, when they do that, especially a small town hospital, you don't necessarily expect them to be up with the technology, and Wayne definitely is. Their imaging technology is amazing, and they actually have in their newsletter last winter about how they are using Genius 3D mammography, and it's supposed to be a very good machine to catch breast cancer early, and to know that they're putting that kind of money towards having the technology is really encouraging and makes me feel more comfortable going there. The doctors and the nurses and the support staff are also a huge reason why I would love to be a part of their team. Those doctors and nurses that I have met and interacted with are generally good people, and from what I have experienced, I would love to work on a team improving Wayne together. Also, they have amazing coffee. They have a little coffee shop right in the front of the place, and it always smells like coffee and blueberry muffins, which is amazing. And it's just a little extra thing, but it just kind of stands out and makes the vibe of the hospital just feel really good and comfortable. Here are some pictures of Wayne Memorial Hospital, so you can kind of see what the big build in 2007 built. You'll see in the top left corner is the admissions area, and it's a really nice facility that's all electronic. They have little bells that ring when it's your turn, so it's very organized and private. And then on the right side, you'll see a picture of the outdoor patio area, which just looks like a nice, quiet area. And it's got the saying on the side of the building that you'll see at the end of the slides, but it's just a really nice area and a nice vibe. The middle picture is actually the pre-op waiting area, and it's a very nice facility with lots of chairs and TVs, and just looks really modern. And then the bottom picture is actually just the outside of the hospital, and it's a really beautiful picture of how nice the hospital really is. Now let's discuss the article that I chose to do for this presentation. This is from healthcareitnews.com. It is entitled, "How Do Struggling Hospitals Recover from a Very Public F Grade on Patient Safety?" And this was from May 2016. What the article reported was the difficulty that Wayne Memorial had after they lost 2 surgeons and their safety scores went down. They were suffering from some patient unsatisfaction, and they couldn't hide their difficulties because the local newspaper picked up the story, and the whole county knew about the struggle they were having and the F grade that they had received from Leapfrog. So what they did was they committed to turning everything around. They brought in some steady leadership in new surgeons, and they fit the mold and committed to safety and to the hospital and the teamwork. The surgeons and the nurses had a better rapport, and that helped contribute to the higher grade that they received within a year. Also implemented anonymous reporting, so any employee could report something that was unsafe, and not feel like they were going to be treated differently for it. It just generally helped the hospital rather than ignore any problems. They also committed to listening to patient feedback about safety. And all of those things combined assisted in the grade they got, which was an A. So they went from an F to an A in a year. And they also won the Small Hospital of the Year by the Georgia Hospital Association that year. So the improvements came when they got the feedback that they needed to be better, and they ran with that. Now, the group that performed the surveys and the grade and gives the grades is the Leapfrog group. And they have been a leader in healthcare safety data by committing to grading hospitals, and they issue involuntary surveys. Not every hospital has to complete the survey. Wayne Memorial chooses to do the survey. And what that does is it allows transparency through the voluntary surveys so that hospitals can choose to participate. With a public that has more interest in data and research now than ever before, these grades do matter, and the transparency and the trust matters to people. There are currently 2,600 graded and available hospitals on their website. And you can see the areas that they get graded in and that they're surveyed on, and they're based on errors, injuries, accidents, and infections. Now, how does the article relate to our class and to our textbook? I am going to focus on Chapter 11, which is healthcare law, because safety equals following the rules and law, which equals Chapter 11, which is healthcare law. If a hospital has a low safety standard or consistently low safety grades, it is fair to assume that their risk for malpractice is greater, right? Because unsafe conditions generally lead to errors and to patients not being happy and, following through on lawsuits. The basic healthcare torts include negligence, which doesn't give appropriate care or withholds care that results in damage, and intentional torts, which are assault, battery, and invasion of privacy. Obviously, negligence and safety, if you neglect safety concerns, there's your tort right there. So the standards of care are more relevant now at the state and local level, which not coincidentally has increased claims. So you can see how safety and knowing the data on safety would be important to avoid potential lawsuits, and knowing the standards of care, how to avoid negligence is very important financially to the hospital, for the reputation of the hospital, and generally, for people, because that's ultimately, healthcare is about taking care of people. So you want to make sure you're doing a good job of that. And the Leapfrog grades, I believe, promote that safety that is so important in healthcare law. The correlation between these safety checks and the standards of care directly relates to healthcare law, and therefore this class and this chapter in our textbooks. This is going to show you, on the left is a chart of different areas that Leapfrog grades and does surveys on. The correlation to these areas, as you can read them, it's obvious that these areas, if not performed well, could result in negligence lawsuits. They have to do with standards of care. This is very clear connection in the work that Leapfrog does in our textbook in the healthcare law. So you can see kind of, especially about maternity care, that is important to me personally, to see that where they are on that list. A potential problem that after research I have come across is that their grade has actually dropped from an A to a B. And the question is, how does that affect people's perception? In the areas that Wayne fell back on, we need to figure out why and what can be done to improve those areas. Wayne is still the only hospital in the area to voluntarily respond to the surveys, which increases confidence and trust in Wayne Memorial Hospital to the community. So that is a very transparent, good thing that they do. What Wayne needs to do, some key assumptions that must change, are getting the right surgeons, which are the people who are leaders, who are passionate about the specific areas that Wayne isn't doing as well in, perhaps, and encourage others around them to be passionate about it, to understand how to improve, and to work as a team. I think that's very important. As you can see, the trend in the grade has gone steadily up, but you just don't want to start going backwards if you can prevent it from happening. And that's the great thing about data, is you can see it's happening. And while an A to a B is not an overly dramatic drop, it is still a decrease. And my question is, how concerned is this organization for the future decline in grade? Is it a priority? I think it should be. I think that improvement's always a good thing. And so my curiosity is, how important is that to you to keep that grade from falling even a little bit more? Knowing how costly malpractice lawsuits can be, do you believe that the correlation between the safety standards measured by the Leapfrog surveys and grades and lawsuits impact Wayne Memorial Hospital? So do you see that correlation there? My next question is, how do you plan to keep the standards you are currently doing well with and integrate measures to bring standards you may be behind on together? In other words, how do you keep your consistency on your strengths while improving your weaknesses so that you can get stronger? The following areas are where you had below national average marks on the Leapfrog grade. The below average measures included dangerous blood clots. You can see the chart right here. Dangerous blood clots, utilization of the computerized physician order entry, patient falls, and specially trained care for ICU patients. You can see how the Wayne numbers and the average numbers compare. And those are the things that you were lower on that caused the B. So what is Wayne Memorial doing in terms of utilizing new technology to assist in improving not only these measures, but safety and innovation throughout the facility? Being a small town hospital, you are sometimes the only choice for Wayne County residents and the surrounding counties. Others, like myself, choose Wayne Memorial Hospital over closer hospitals due to your stellar reputation and fantastic facilities. What projects in the short term is Wayne Memorial planning to stay true to your catchphrase, big city technology with small hometown care? And the next question I have is, the theme of the article that I spoke about was the turnaround in patient safety that you experienced in 2016. A large part of that was attributed to steady and dedicated leadership of surgeons and teamwork that they inspired. My question is, what is Wayne Memorial Hospital doing to attract that type of doctor and those type of doctors that can continue the success in the long term for you? Now, your current mission statement is fairly simple. Wayne Memorial is committed to providing high-quality healthcare to all patients. Simple, straightforward. But if you could expand that statement with 2 to 3 additional sentences, what would they be? If the employees of Wayne Memorial Hospital are actively encouraged to participate in the goals and mission of the future of the hospital, the operational structure should flourish. This is good news for the hospital, the patients, and ultimately the community, because it is the 3rd largest employer in Wayne. So this really matters as an employer and as a healthcare facility, because you want to have confidence in the future of your hospital. It is important for the leadership of Wayne Memorial Hospital to stay vigilant in trust, safety, and technology in order to maintain and ultimately surpass their current patient care and continue to lead the way as a great small town acute care hospital. I hope you really enjoyed this video, and if you have any questions, please look in the and you can leave a comment and I'll respond. You'll notice that all the citations are listed, and I will also list them at the bottom of the YouTube video, so you can just click on them from YouTube. Thank you very much for taking the time to watch this video, and good luck.